Hi guys, welcome to another episode of PSLE Maths Secrets Review. In today's episode, we are going to explore a question on rate that is actually, I would call it a hidden fractions question. So if you'd like to know how to solve this question, stay with me all the way till the end. And without further ado, let's do a quick dive into the question together. Chandra takes 3 hours to polish a car. So I'll circle 3 hours in my annotation, point to Chandra. Chow Ming takes 5 hours. So I'll circle 5 hours, or point to Chow Ming. And one day, Chandra started polishing a car at 12 noon. So Chandra, 12 noon. An hour later, Chow Ming joined in. Okay, so it means that at 1 p.m., the two boys polish the car together. And the question is asking us at what time did both of them complete the polishing of the car? Okay, at what time both of them completed the job? So how shall we approach this question? You may wonder. We need to be able to arrive at the rate in which each of them can spend on polishing a car. Okay, so let me just use blue for Chandra and red for Chow Ming. Okay, just to be clear. So Chandra, let me write him down, the name down. If he takes 3 hours to polish the car, this will mean that for Chandra, in 1 hour, he will actually polish 1/3 of a car. So if you do not understand how we arrive at 1/3, basically from 3 to 1 hour, we divided by 3. And from 1 car to 1/3 of a car, we also divided by 3. So in mathematics, in maths, what happens on the left side usually must happen on the right side as well. Alright? So let's talk about this Chow Ming. Chow Ming actually takes 5 hours. So he takes a much longer time to polish the car. So 5 hours Chow Ming takes to polish 1 car. This will mean that for Chow Ming, in 1 hour, he can only polish 1/5 of a car. Okay, 1/5 of a car. So how did that happen? From 5 to 1, we divided by 5 on the left side. And likewise, from 1 car to 1/5 of a car, we divided by 5 on the right side. As in, once again, whatever happened on the left side happened for the right side. So let us draw a very simple timeline to chronicle the entire event. So with my timeline in place, the starting point is 12 noon. And it'll be very useful for us to use 24-hour clock. Okay? So that we do not need to deal with the AM or the PM. So Chandra started polishing at 12 noon. I'll put a marking down. So 12 noon is actually 1200 hours. Okay, just bear in mind, no decimal point, no other labeling, just 4 digits, 1200. And an hour later, Chow Ming joined in. Okay, Chow Ming actually joined in to polish the car together with Chandra. Alright? So I will just label nicely 1H. And an hour later, it will be 1300 hours. So let us ask ourselves this very crucial question. If Chandra polished a car by himself for 1 hour, at the point when Chow Ming joined in at 1300 hours, how much of the car left needs to be polished? Okay, let me pose the question again to everyone. If Chandra polished a car by himself for an entire hour, how much of the car needs to be polished? Or rather, after 1 p.m., after 1300 hours, how much more needs to be polished before the entire car can be considered as polished? Okay? So if you are confused by this, no worries. I'll just take one hole I will subtract away the 1/3 that was completed by Chandra from 1200 hours to 1300 hours, because we know that in 1 hour, Chandra actually managed to polish 1/3 of the car by himself. This means that when Chao Ming joined in, okay, the fun of polishing the car, there is still another 2/3 left that needed to be polished. There's still another 2/3 left that needed to be polished. So at this juncture, it's going to be very useful for us to actually consider if both boys worked together, okay? If both boys work together, what fraction of the car can be polished by them together? So we have Chandra, and we add Chao Ming together, okay? Chandra plus Chao Ming. So this will be 1/3 plus 1 out of 5. Okay, 1/3 plus 1 out of 5. So this is actually a paper 2 question. So no worries, we can just key everything nicely into our calculator. But if we were to try to solve this in paper 1 without calculator, just bear in mind that we have to make this denominators the same to turn that into 15. So 1/3 plus 1 out of 5, I will arrive at the answer 8 out of 15. Okay, 8 out of 15. This means that in 1 hour, both boys, when they combine their energies, okay, they will be able to complete 8 out of 15 of a car. They will be able to polish 8 out of 15 of a car. Alright? So given that from 1300 hours onwards, there's still 2/3 of the car that needed polishing. Alright, then how can I achieve this? Okay, how can I achieve this? I'd like to show everyone a step-by-step method. Okay, and later I'll show you a very nifty shortcut that you can use with a calculator. But let's say this is a paper 1 question and we can't use the calculator. How can we actually solve this question very effectively? So with Chandra and Chao Ming combined powers, okay, it means that in 1 hour they get to polish 8 out of 15 of a car. And by the same token, it also means that for 8 out of 15 of the car, they will take 1 hour to get the job done. Okay, they will take 1 hour to get the job done. So let us find out if 8 out of 15 of a car they need 1 hour, what's about 1 out of 15 of a car? Okay, this will be 1 hour divided by 8, leading us to 1 out of 8 of an hour. Now let's get back to the question. After this Chao Ming joined in to help Chandra, there is still 2/3 of the car that needed polishing. So what is 2/3? What is 2/3 when we convert it into denominator 15? Okay, denominator 15. So 2/3, okay, is actually 10 out of 15. 10 out of 15. And earlier on, as I've mentioned, if 1 out of 15 of a car combine together, they take 1 out of 8 of an hour. With the remaining 10 out of 15 of the car, this will mean that with both boys working together, the amount of time taken must be 1 out of 8 hours multiplied by 10. And this will be how long? As in, what's the duration for that? Let me key this into the calculator. 1 out of 8 times 10, and I will have arrived at 1 1/4. 1 1/4. So what this basically means is that 1 1/4 hour after 1300 hours, both of them will complete the polishing of the car. Okay? And this 1 1/4 hour, if you key in the calculator, is actually 1 hour 15 minutes. Okay, 1 hour 15 minutes, because 1/4 of an hour is 15 minutes. And it's also because 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay, so 1 hour after 1300 hours, it will be 1400 hours. Then another 15 minutes later, the time that they completed the polishing of the car will none other than be 14:15. Okay, 14:15. Now, earlier on I mentioned the so-called shortcut. How can we achieve a shortcut? Very, very simple. Alright? So we can actually arrive at a shortcut by using 2/3, okay, which is the remaining amount of time that's needed. Sorry, the remaining amount of the car that needed polishing after this Charming joined in. 2/3 if we divide it by the combined labor of Chandra and Charming, which means that in 1 hour, Chandra and Charming combined, they will be able to complete polishing 8 out of 15 of the car. So if I were to take 2/3 divided by 8 out of 15, okay, so do not be shocked. If you key that into your calculator, 2 out of 3 divided by 8 out of 15, lo and behold, you will also get the same answer of 1 1/4. Okay, so that's the shortcut. And guys, if you enjoyed today's video or you got anything out of it whatsoever, please hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also comment below. Let us know where you guys are tuning from. That's always good for us to know. And finally, if you are new to this channel and you haven't already, remember, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications button. That's a little bell sign, by the way, because this year we are committed to making weekly videos to hold you accountable and to make this your best year in mathematics. But for now, this is Teacher Ray signing off. Alright, bye bye.